an act of faith in daily life. In a quiet town surrounded by green hills and bathed in the light of dawn, lived Anna, a young woman in her 20s known for her kindness and unwavering faith. Anna worked at El Rincón del Café, a cozy coffee shop where townsfolk gathered to share moments, ideas, and worries. Though her life was far from easy and she barely earned enough to get by, Anna always found reasons to smile and thank God for each day. Monday began like any other day. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee filled the air, and the wooden tables were occupied by regular customers. Anna, wearing her signature green apron and with her hair tied up in a simple bun, attended to each person with kindness. But that morning, something different happened. The bell above the door jingled, and in walked Don Manuel, an elderly man with slow steps who always carried a worn Bible, its covers showing years of use. Anna immediately noticed that something was off. Don Manuel's usually calm expression was clouded with worry. "Good morning, Don Manuel," Anna greeted warmly. "Your usual coffee, right?" "Good morning, dear," he replied with a sigh that betrayed his heavy heart. "Yes, please." While preparing his coffee, Anna couldn't help but glance at the elderly man with concern. Placing the cup in front of him, she leaned slightly and asked, "Is everything all right? You seem worried." Don Manuel looked at her gratefully, as if he'd been waiting for someone to ask. "It's my grandson, David," he began to explain. "He lost his job a few weeks ago and hasn't been able to find another. He and his wife have 2 young children, and things are becoming really difficult. I don't know how to help them, and it breaks my heart." Anna listened intently, nodding as he spoke. Compassion filled her face. "I'm so sorry, Don Manuel. I'll pray for you and your family," she said firmly. "God always has a plan, even in the midst of hardships." The elderly man gave her a faint smile, grateful for her willingness to listen and pray. That night, when Anna got home, she knelt beside her bed. Closing her eyes, she clasped her hands together and began to pray. "Lord, I pray for David and his family. Open doors for them and give them the strength to overcome this moment. Guide me to be an instrument of your will, so I can help in whatever way is needed." The next day, on her way to work, something caught her attention. In the window of a local store, there was a handwritten sign that read, "Help wanted." Anna felt a spark of hope. Without a second thought, she walked into the store and met the owner, Mrs. Teresa, an older woman with a kind demeanor. "Good morning, Mrs. Teresa. I saw the sign in your window and wanted to ask if you're still looking for someone," Anna said enthusiastically. Mrs. Teresa explained that they needed someone responsible to help with inventory and assist customers. Anna mentally noted the details and, as soon as her shift at the coffee shop ended, headed straight to Don Manuel's house. She knocked gently but firmly on the door. When Don Manuel opened, Anna told him about the opportunity she'd found. "I think David should give it a try. This might be the answer you've been looking for," she said with an encouraging smile. Moved by Anna's gesture, Don Manuel called his grandson immediately. When David heard about the job, he hesitated. He had faced several rejections recently and feared being turned down again. "David, you have to try," Don Manuel said, placing a hand on his grandson's shoulder. "You're not alone," Anna chimed in as well. "God doesn't put opportunities in our path without reason. Trust and take this step." With their support, David decided to go to the interview. Though nervous, he remembered Anna and Don Manuel's words and prayed silently before walking into the store. A few days later, the news arrived. David got the job. The happiness on his face and the relief in Don Manuel's eyes deeply moved Anna. But this wasn't just a work victory. It was a turning point. As David adjusted to his new job, he began to regain his confidence. There, he met coworkers who inspired him with their own stories of struggle and perseverance. Slowly, David felt something awaken within him, a renewed faith. One Sunday morning, David attended church with his family and asked to share his testimony. Standing before the congregation, his voice filled with emotion, he said, "A few weeks ago, I was lost and hopeless, but God showed me that even small acts of kindness can change lives. A sincere prayer, a word of encouragement, and someone's faith in me made all the difference." From one of the back pews, Anna listened with tears in her eyes. She wasn't seeking recognition, but David's testimony reaffirmed her belief that faith is lived out in the small details. From that day forward, Anna continued her journey, always attentive to the needs of others, convinced that even the simplest gestures can become miracles in God's hands.